It is a great privilege for me to be here with you tonight. I stand here before you as an example of what is possible when you dream big dreams, you learn to believe in yourself and the power to manifest those dreams. In fact, Lil Thea, who just won the telescope, is me 30-some years ago in Trinidad and Tobago, where I was born. And I recall at the age of 6 and 7 years old, sitting on the trunk of my dad's car every night and stargazing. In high school, I excelled in math and science, but I didn't know then that I was laying the groundwork for and the foundation for what has been an extraordinary journey in the field of rocket and spacecraft engineering. During my time in sixth form, where I majored in math, chemistry, and physics, I made the decision that I was going to study aeronautical engineering. This was because I had a love for planes and a proclivity for math and science. But when I migrated to the United States to commence my university studies, I had no idea that my life would take the turn that it did. It was 1986. I was entering my second semester as a freshman in college. And on that fateful day, January 28th, the Space Shuttle Challenger blew up upon launch, killing 7 astronauts. It was in that moment that my life changed forever. At the time, I had no idea, being from Trinidad, what a space shuttle was, what NASA was, or there was even a career path as an astronaut. We didn't have cable TV back then. It's not like today when the young people when they all have such a consciousness about the pursuits of space exploration. Humans orbiting our Earth in a space station, robotic missions to Mars, and a front row view of the universe through the eyes of the Hubble Space Telescope. No, I was clueless until that moment in 1986, when I was hooked. It was then that I decided that NASA was where I wanted to work, that I wanted to design space vehicles like the space shuttle, and that I wanted to fly in space. So I switched my major from aeronautical engineering to a focus in aerospace, one of the most technically challenging fields that exist. I then went on to obtain my bachelor's and master's degree in mechanical and aerospace engineering, specializing in spacecraft and rocket systems design. And as a result, 6 years after setting my sights on my goal of working for NASA, I was driving into the gates of Kennedy Space Center on the brink of starting what has been an amazing, fulfilling, and inspiring career. The last 18 years, I've had the ride of my life. I've had the opportunity to work on the space shuttle payload and cargo systems as a flight systems test engineer. I have designed, developed, analyzed, and tested ballistic missiles. I've managed a technical team responsible for the systems engineering and testing of the Orion crew capsule, which is the next generation of spacecraft that will have the capability to send humans to explore beyond Earth's orbit. And now, as the assistant program scientist for the International Space Station, which you may not know is a science lab in space, I get to play in a world where we are on the cutting edge of scientific discovery. Imagine for a moment that every biological, chemical, and physical process that takes place in our terrestrial environment we call Earth happens under the influence of our gravitational force. Our ecosystem functions in that way because of gravity. But could you imagine what happens when you're able to remove that gravitational element from the equation? Those same processes behave differently. So the International Space Station serves as that unique platform that allows us to do the types of inquiries and experiments and really advance our knowledge and understanding of our natural world. So now I spend a lot of time in my current capacity communicating my passion for space and the benefits of space research that we conduct on the ISS to the public. But with all those experiences, one of my greatest accomplishments was coming really close to achieving my dream of becoming an astronaut, as I was a finalist, one of 100 out of 4,000 plus applicants to be invited to interview for the job of flying in space. And even though I wasn't one of the 12 that was selected that year back in 2004, I knew then that there was power in our dreams, in our thoughts, and our intentions. All my experiences I outlined for you would not have been possible if it wasn't for the solid foundation that I received in mathematics in high school. Math, you see, is the language of science and engineering. It is what we use to communicate the various chemical and physical concepts, principles, and processes that help us to understand our natural environment. Too often, I think our students of today are wondering how the abstract math concepts that they're learning in school apply to real life. It is a challenge our teachers are faced with, especially in the Caribbean, making the math curriculum inspiring and relevant to everyday life, instead of just a bunch of facts, figures, and formulae to be memorized. But it is imperative that the education leaders of this region give serious thought to how we transform our math and science curriculum in a way that engages our students to pursue not just the biological sciences, such as medicine and biology and anatomy, but the hard sciences, such as physics and chemistry, computer science, and all the disciplines of engineering, including aerospace. The education system in the region must be evolved into one that produces leaders in these fields. This will allow our region to be in the forefront of technological advancements, inspiring the further industrialization of some Caribbean nations and the beginning of industrialization of others. A vision, for example, that could inspire kids from Haiti, giving them a future to live into, taking their nation from extreme and abject poverty to having a hold on the first rung of the economic ladder. Science and technology education and visionary leadership could make this possible. But what I know for sure is that the young people in this audience represent the generation that can make that vision a reality. You are truly the ones that can transform our world. Most of you may never work in the space industry like I did, or even be interested in space. And you may never end up pursuing math, science, and engineering as a career. I hope you do. but I know life sometimes takes us in different directions. But each of you, I know, has something burning inside of you, that passion for something that if you look hard enough, you will find. There's a light within each of you that if you believe in yourself and you allow to let shine, you would illuminate the world. There is no substitute for excellence, determination, and perseverance, but most importantly, for believing in yourself. I believe we are all created for greatness. And as one of my role models, Dr. Martin Luther King, said, not everyone could be famous, but everyone could be great, because greatness is measured by your service. So as we kick off this conference and embark on the conversations on STEM, sustainability, and survival, I urge you to think seriously about the vision I just laid out. Who will be courageous enough to make that bold step for the Caribbean? I leave you with this question. What would the next 50 years be if you here were responsible for leaving that legacy? Thank you.